If your gut is like a football team, do you need more players on your team, or do you need players on your team that are going to win? Hi, my name is Phil. I'm with Silver Fern Brand. We are a digestive health company. So a lot of people ask us to compare a Lactobacillus bifidobacterium product, which there's a lot of them, to our ultimate probiotic. So here, let me explain probiotics to you, okay? So standard Lactobacillus and bifidobacterium probiotics are like adding a lot of new players to your team. When you take them, they confer benefits to your microbiome. Whether they live or die, many of them provide benefits. That's right. Even dead Lactobacillus and bifidobacterium strains can confer a benefit on an individual. They are called postbiotics. So while the messaging right now in the social media world is like, you need probiotics that are going to survive digestion, survive the stomach in order to get into the intestinal system to do stuff. By the way, I'm not saying that message isn't correct. And I know a lot of Lactobacillus and bifidobacterium probiotics that are really high end and good have special coatings and capsules and different technologies that help them survive to provide benefits, and I'm not taking away from those things, but it's also a mistake to say that dead probiotics don't provide any benefits. They do. They're literally called postbiotics. There are a lot of postbiotics with a lot of research. I'm just trying to be factually accurate, okay? So the concept is you take these Lactobacillus bifidobacterium strains in large amounts. You are introducing a lot of new players to your football team, and you hope that those players are all-stars. That's the idea and concept behind a standard Lactobacillus and bifidobacterium probiotic. And as we all agree, what we are trying to do is improve the microbiome, strengthen the gut barrier, promote healthy inflammatory responses, and help the immune system. Those are the pillars of gut health. And then from those pillars of gut health, by way of improving, modulating the microbiome in a positive way, by way of strengthening the gut barrier, restoring healthy inflammatory responses, and improving the immune system, you get other health benefits, right? So you get cognitive benefits, you get metabolic benefits, you get skin benefits, you get all of these things, right? So that's typically how what we're trying to do with a probiotic. Standard probiotics and Lactobacillus and bifidobacterium probiotics, once again, are like you're trying to recruit a specific number of players. You're just trying to add more and more players to your team, and you're hoping that they're all-star players, okay? So ultimate probiotic, different approach. Ultimate probiotic is like bringing on a coaching staff, okay? So once again, I'm not taking away from bifidobacterium and lactobacillus strains. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying these strains take a different approach, and they are like bringing on a coaching staff to train your microbiome, to make sure that the players on the field are playing as they should to win the game. So they're going to help organize your team, make sure that the team has plays, that they're running the plays correctly, and that you are running a defense correctly against bad things you don't want. They're organizing the team, and then they're coaching it. So I would also suggest, this is kind of cool since we're using football analogy, Bacillus coagulans, for example, they will help increase lactobacillus and bifidobacterium strains. And I'm going to suggest that's like what they do is they recruit them. So when they make an environment, they modulate the microbiome, and they create an environment that recruits all-stars. That's what Bacillus coagulans is doing. So you can't say that the strains in Ultimate Probiotic aren't significantly increasing bifidobacterium and lactobacillus. They're just doing it by way of recruiting. They're making the environment in such a way that really good, beneficial players to the microbiome thrive. And then they are training your skilled players on your team to perform as they're supposed to. So if I may give a quick example, the Bacillus strains, for example, are very good training staff and coaches for the immune system. They will help improve regulatory T cell function, which doesn't mean anything to you, but it's kind of a big deal for me because we deal with a lot of hypersensitive people with hypersensitivity immune systems, right? So hypersensitive immune system. So what we're trying to do is you want to also train the immune system to be tolerant. Strains and Ultimate Probiotic are going to do that. So once again, Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium strains are like dumping an enormous amount of players onto your team, which is fine. It's just, I would argue, just having a whole bunch of all-star players that aren't working together and they're not organized and they're not coached correctly doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the game. And it also doesn't mean that that's the most effective thing you should do. Not taking away from those, I'm just trying to give an analogy. The Ultimate Probiotic strains act as a coaching staff. They will coach, organize, manage, recruit beneficial organisms, kick players off the team that are not working like they're supposed to. So instead of looking for an overabundance of players, it is managing the players you have on your team to be most effective for winning. Can you pair a standard Lactobacillus Bifidobacterium probiotic with Ultimate Probiotic? Of course. So that happens a lot. People do it a lot. Personally speaking, I pair Ultimate Probiotic with the prebiotics. I pair it with like sensitive gut fiber and targeted prebiotic because the data shows a extreme signal. Like for example, the Sonul, this is just one example, in the sensitive gut fiber, increases Bifidobacterium up to 350% in broad range amounts, increases Akkermansia up to 250% in broad range amounts. And so when you pair that with like the Ultimate Probiotic, you're bringing on all the players. You don't have to worry about whether the probiotics are dead or alive because it's a prebiotic. They don't need to be dead or alive. It significantly increases the beneficial bacteria, and then the probiotics go in to coach them and train them in a way that they all work together. So different approach. That's what we're doing with Ultimate Probiotic. If you like that approach and you want to do that, then that's Ultimate Probiotic. I would also argue taking this approach makes it so you're not constantly having to bring on new players all the time from different products. So instead of having to take different probiotics all the time, so you're bringing on new strains all the time, you don't need to do that with this approach. It's a coaching staff. It's coaching correctly. It's been proven to coach correctly. And then when you bring on healthy foods, prebiotic fibers, targeted prebiotic, sensitive gut fiber, whatever your prebiotic of choice is, if it's got clinical research studies and it's increasing Prevotella, Akkermansia, F. prausnitzii, Krishnasella, all of the beneficial organisms, it's training them to work effectively to your benefit, once again, to optimize your microbiome, your gut barrier, your inflammatory responses in your immune system, which then confers additional benefits, cognition, mood, energy. Obviously, you're gonna get nutrient absorption with the gut barrier, but all of those things. That's a lot. That's the explanation when people are like, what's the difference between Ultimate Probiotic and a standard probiotic from so-and-so that's full of Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium? That's the difference. I hope this helps. Bye.